you ever felt.
Are you listening?
So, now that we've gone over what a rising sign is, let's talk about what it means if you are an Aries rising. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and that alone is going to be something that you can tell with an Aries rising. They are all about being first. They love to get things done. We call them the pioneer of the zodiac frequently because they tread where no one has walked before. There can be a tendency to be a little bit like impatient because you're just so driven to like take action. You don't like to wait at all. In fact, this can play out in like your relationships as well if you're an Aries rising. Sometimes you need to learn to be a little bit more patient with other people because you're a fast person. You expect the same from other people, otherwise you are probably going to just head out. You're probably not going to wait around for them. This of course can be completely different depending on your birth chart, your unique birth chart. But just in general rule of thumb, Aries doesn't want to wait. They'll be in a relationship as long as it's not holding them back, okay? They're not one to just like sacrifice their own desires or their own goals in order to, you know, make that other person happy. When a job needs to get started, you go to an Aries. If you need someone to help you get moving, if you need someone to help get a project started, Aries is 100% the person you need to look to because they are good at starting things. You're great at getting a project going. What you may need to work on is learning to follow through. You want to keep maintaining. You need to learn maintenance. You can't start a project and then leave it unfinished. So that might be a tendency and that's something you're going to need to work on. Aries is usually athletic. That doesn't necessarily relate to their physical appearance. So they might not even look like super muscular or super trim, but they will be athletic in some way. So they're probably going to like to live like an active lifestyle. They're probably going to be the type to be up and about. A lot of times they are actually muscular. It's not always though. A lot of times they are very trim. They are very like sports oriented. Aries is red. That's the color that Aries usually gravitate towards. So maybe there's a tendency to wear a lot of red. Maybe there's a tendency to wear a lot of like sports jerseys and things like that. Your sign, Aries, rules the head. So frequently a health area to look out for when you are an Aries is your head. So that's migraines, headaches, like ringing in the ears is a common thing. Stress that like literally creates a headache is very much Aries because Aries is so much energy that sometimes it can be stressful if you're not using that energy or finding an outlet, and then that can translate to a headache. You're going to want to watch out for your head, okay? So wear a freaking helmet, okay? If you are on a bike, wear a helmet. You better wear a helmet. Concussions, like I'm not saying you're all just going to get a concussion, but you are the type of person, if you're an Aries rising, who needs to be extra careful if you do hit your head. So if you hit your head hard, you're probably going to want to take that seriously. Seek medical attention if the pain is not subsiding. You know, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying, like, pay attention to your head. You are a fire sign. This is passion. This is energy. This is libido. Fire signs tend to be very passionate about whatever it is that they believe in, so that can vary largely based on some other things in your chart, but there's going to be a passion that is universally present within all Aries risings. You're a passionate person, and if you're not tapping into that, you need to be. That's part of your place in the universal makeup. You need to be a passionate person, you know, taking action on whatever it is you believe in. You probably should be athletic. If you're not athletic, you better figure out a way to use up that energy, because if you're not using up that energy, things can you just feel out of whack. You need to have a positive outlet for you to get your anger out. So whether that is just like finding a therapist to let you get it out, or working out, or maybe you can channel it into an artistic thing where you're getting out all this anger, because there can be a frustrating feeling present in an Aries rising because you tend to be very passionate, like I said, and you're ruled by Mars. So Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is the planet of war, aggression, anger, drive, frustration, sex drive. So there tends to be all of those qualities present in an Aries rising. You're probably driven, okay? You might not have the staying power, but you will start something. You'll go for it when you have that passion. You probably can be aggressive. There does tend to be like a sexual drive within an Aries because you are ruled by Mars. You are fiery. You're passionate. That being said, sensuality, not necessarily your forte. So yes, you have the strong sexual drive, but the whole like romantic aspect of it can be kind of lost on you at times. If you are an Aries rising, okay, this is a very general rule of thumb. I'm almost even hesitant to say this, but if you are an Aries rising, I will give you the other rising signs that you tend to be most compatible with. So that's Sagittarius, Leo. Those are the other fire signs. So, and I'm talking rising signs. So Sagittarius and Leo risings tend to be like very, harmonious matches for you. You both have this passion, but you go about it in different ways that can help each other out. It also can work really well if it's with a Gemini or an Aquarius rising. There can be a little bit more of a dynamic relationship. It's not necessarily going to be just like so harmonious. There can be like differences that are supportive. So for instance, an Aquarius rising people are very like group oriented. So that is where the dynamic energy comes from because you are very like self-oriented. I'm not saying selfish, but you are driven to fulfill your own personal goals. Aquarius is very like, okay, what's best for the group? So if you are together, there can be like, that can be great for business partnerships. One of you will, you will be the motivator. Aquarius will make sure it is supportive of everyone in the process. You'll have to watch out if it's a romantic relationship because Aquarius will eventually probably be like, hey, stop being so freaking selfish, Aries. If it's a Gemini is very like all over the place sometimes. So Aries is very like focused, not necessarily for a long time, but like once they get a goal, they're gonna go for that goal. Gemini has already like lost focus 3 or 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. And Aries is like really trying to get this thing done, and Gemini's over there doing whatever. Gemini, on the other hand, can get really bugged because Aries is like so single track minded in an extent. Usually it works out great, to be honest. Aries and Gemini, I don't even know why, but they love each other. It's because they're both like self-focused. Usually works out great. Libra, this is the one that can be like hit or miss, really. So your relationship with Libra, hit or miss, your opposite signs. So if you're looking for a relationship where there is like this dynamic energy and it's not always easy, but it always helps each other grow, Libra, that's the one to go for. This is your opposite sign. They'll help you reach a more balanced state of being because opposites always do that. They bring out the quality that seems to be lacking in the other. However, if you are very focused on just staying the way that you are and you don't really want anyone to like push you into being someone else, Libra might not be the best choice. Try it out. And then another Aries, this can be great or this can be horrible. Because as long as you are motivated by the same drive, that's great. You guys will just go for it. Or if you are just completely okay with the other person going and doing their own thing while you do your own thing, then another Aries is great. Where it like doesn't work out is if maybe all your planets are in completely conflicting places, but you're both Aries rising, because then maybe you have completely conflicting goals, completely conflicting beliefs, but you'll both go for it. You'll both be like, no, this is correct. And that can be a little bit of a tense interaction to have. Definitely don't like disclude other rising signs. I don't think that, I would have to look at your birth chart to be like, this is probably your ideal sign. I tend to not like say never date a Taurus, never date a Scorpio, or like anything like that, because I think that everyone is a little bit different. And I think if someone's coming into your life and you feel that it is 100% right, they're in your life for a reason and you need to figure out what that is. So Aries, try not to be too aggressive or too assertive, but definitely go for your goals, okay? So try not to be stepping on other people's toes in the process of going for your goals, but definitely go for your goals because that is the natural order of things. You are meant to be the pioneer, the one who's going for things. You might want to, try to develop your skills of maintaining or follow through and patience, but bottom line is you are meant to get things started, so do it. Woo.